Optionals are attackers. Nobody can score extra 50, 60, 70 marks in GS from the average. What understanding and mindset you develop in sociology helps you to score better in fourth paper. Research methods very important, because if I really want to know how much of sociology you are knowing, requirement cooking skill के biology की नहीं, तो इतनी छोटी सी गलती आप नहीं कर रहे हो, UPSC करेगा. In fact, look at the fourth topic. This is about the thinkers in sociology. And if you know thinkers properly, almost more than half of the job is done.
Most UPSC aspirants fail before they even begin. Here's how you avoid that. The mistake: they jump into preparation without a roadmap, a mentor, or a clear strategy. At Vision IS Delhi, we help you build your UPSC foundation the right way from day one. Get structured coverage, prelims, main CSAT and essay, all broken down step by step, so nothing feels overwhelming. Smart current affairs with PT 365 and Mains 365. You focus only on what truly matters, no fluff. Personal mentorship, real one-on-one guidance to help you fix weak areas and boost what you're already good at. Test plus feedback loop, regular tests with detailed feedback so you never lose track of your progress. Don't start blind, start smart with Vision IS Delhi. This is where your serious UPSC journey begins.
UPSC preparation is not just about reading books or watching online lectures. It requires personal guidance, real discussions, and structured practice. This is where offline mentoring makes all the difference. Unlike online learning, where doubts often remain unresolved, offline mentoring offers direct interaction, real-time feedback, and an environment of discipline and competition. One-to-one sessions help students get tailored advice, strategy corrections, and focused improvement. Every aspirant has different strengths and weaknesses. Personal mentoring helps address them effectively. Ground discussions sharpen analytical thinking and help students develop a multi-dimensional perspective on issues crucial for prelims, mains, and interview. Elocution sessions help in personality development, clarity of thought, and confidence, essential for UPSC interviews. Test writing is the most crucial part of UPSC preparation. It helps in time management, structuring answers, and improving content quality. Offline mentoring is not just about teaching. It's about grooming future officers with the right guidance, discipline, and confidence. So if you are preparing for UPSC, make sure you have the right mentor by your side.
Good afternoon. Welcome to you all. And I hope you are knowing the objective of this session is just to make you a little bit informed about what sociology is, its pros and cons, and what should be your approach when it comes to subject. I'm sure you have already been discussed a lot of things. So I would like to start with some supplementary thing into that, what has been discussed already by ma'am. Look, practically speaking, despite all these, all those explanations, theoretical explanations, and big statements, when it comes to UPSC, end of the day, what matters is the score, that how you're scoring, because that determines your selection. And you know what? Those who play football, they can understand it easily. That in football you have defenders and then you have attacker. You will lose match if you don't have good defenders. if a goalkeeper is not good, if a defenders are not good, but you will never win your match with defenders. For that you need attacker. Same here. Optionals are attackers. Nobody can score extra 50, 60, 70 marks in GS from the average. Getting 80 marks extra in GS from the average, above the average, is very difficult task. But getting those 80 marks extra in optional is rather easy. And that should be a strategy. So why optional is important? Because in GS, all of them, even the best of the student and those who are performing average, the gap will not be very high. But in optional, you can see that somebody is getting 120 and somebody is getting 280. This is where the difference is coming. And that determines your journey in this examination. So somehow, choosing select optional is one of the, I must say, most significant strategic decision you're going to take. So don't take it emotionally. It's not because somebody had said this optional is good. Obviously, if you'll ask me, I'll say it's a very good optional. This is the best optional possible. Other optionals are not standing closer anywhere. That should not be the criteria. Criteria is, and when you are choosing optional, I must say there are three things that you should keep in mind. First and foremost is your acumen. Whether you have acumen for that subject or not, whether you're liking that subject or not. And acumen might be your natural acumen or might be cultivated acumen. Sometimes we do cultivate acumens or likings in some certain things, right? Now, whether you have acumen in the subject or not, that is always your decision. In this particular thing, never listen to anyone. That whether I have acumen, and I often say, one of the best way to identify whether I have acumen in this subject or not, take NCERT of that subject, any chapter randomly, read for 20 minutes and feel how long that 20 minutes was for. Sometimes those 20 minutes are very long and sometimes this seems like blink of eyes. This is one of the ways to identify whether you have acumen in the subject or not. So if you give me chemistry, I'm telling you 20 minutes will be like 5 hours. If I have to read a chemistry book, even NCERT, basic NCERT, that might, please, anyone from chemistry, don't take it personally. But for me, reading a chemistry book of 20 minutes will be like I have finished 5 hours and reaching nowhere. On the contrary, maybe while reading sociology or any other discipline, it may seem like, okay, I've just started, 20 minutes over. Even if needed, you take an alarm for it. But this will help you to understand your natural acumen. Because trust me, if you have to read anything for 6 months, 5-6 months roughly, and you have to revise it 2-3 times, if you don't have acumen, it will be very uphill task, no matter how good that subject is being portrayed. This is something which you have to decide. I would like to be ruthlessly honest to you. Because obviously, I'm not here to endorse the subject. This is the last thing I would like to do. So I would like to be ruthlessly honest to tell you that acumen you decide. That whether I have acumen or not. And what I have found now, defending my subject, sociology is one of those subjects where naturally people have acumen. The reason being our socialization is kind of that. And I often say if you're liking reading stuff on social media, if you like to comment on the daily things, look how the people have got changed, how the things are changing and how society is moving and all these kind of things, good or bad, that's a different thing. But that means, because the subject matter of sociology is quite generic, that deals with day-to-day life, where we talk about, let's say how the things are changing, how society, what makes society, why society is changing, say for example, what are the consequences of power, and so on and so forth. So first thing first is acumen. Any subject, again, don't take, I have seen students taking philosophy because they got impression that philosophy might be easier. Read philosophy for 20 minutes and identify whether you can connect it or not. That depends on you. So acumen is your cup of tea. One thing I can tell you, sociology is one of those subjects where developing acumen is not that difficult. This I can tell you. That if you're having reasonable common sense, developing acumen in the subject is not that difficult. So that should be your first criterion. Second criteria to determine optional, any optional, is that how short or long its syllabus is and how much of resources are available. Because let's say, again, with due respect, let's say physics. Now, physics in your syllabus, they have quantum physics also, which is a world in itself. And syllabus is not very precisely defined. In, let's say, biology, botany, geology, they had given the entire of taxonomy and syllabus is not that clearly mentioned. So this is where it gets bulkier. So your optional should be that subject where syllabus is precise, syllabus is relatively smaller, can be managed in the given time, because in this preparation journey, time is the limiting factor. You will be having limited time, within that you have to do the things. So if the syllabus is precise and materials are available, that's the reason why most of the students are falling in 4 or 5 subjects only. There is sociology, then PSIR, then public administration, a part of them in geography, because these are those subjects where syllabus is very methodically designed and relatively shorter, and materials are available. There are some good books which may serve your purpose more than 70%, 1 or 2 books itself. That is not possible in biology, that's not possible in chemistry. And that's why when it comes to syllabus being shorter, being precise, in fact, sociology syllabus is very, very detailed when each and a smaller thing is also been provided. And that makes it very clear, okay, this is the domain, this is the line, this is the delimitation where I should stay. So second thing is that syllabus should be smaller, it should be manageable in the given time, and materials are available. This is where sociology got an edge. And when I'm saying syllabus should be smaller, there's another thing which helps sociology, and that is it is not technical. Unlike some subjects, here there is no technicality. You don't have much of what is called technical detailings. Again, if you are having basic understanding, which many of you are bound to have if you're a graduate, so even with that limited understanding, it can be done. And that's the reason why probably sociology is one of the favored subject these days. Again, same goes with, to some extent, PSIR. So this way, second thing is where the tick mark is in positive. That syllabus is precise, material is available, guidance and directions are available in plenty, good directions are available. And third thing, which should be the criteria to determine your optional, is again very important, and that is how much it helps in GS. Because this way, you hit, as you said, 2 birds with 1 stone. So if that subject is overlapping sizably in GS, with the same preparation, you get advantage in optional as well as GS. Now this is the reason again why 5, 6 syllabus subjects are very popular. Because if you see these subjects like geography, history, political science, sociology, these are the subjects which are there in your GS paper also. And if you are doing it good here, you will be naturally beneficiary there. And that's the reason why. So again, I'll say 3 things determine the optional, not because somebody had said it is good, not because the topper is from that subject, not because, this year many students, though we are keeping fingers crossed, as the result is likely to come by evening most likely. So, it's not that what is the trend saying, because UPSC in itself is not having any favoritism, that this subject will be favored and others will not be favored. UPSC is obviously equally treating them at par, but due to other factors, these subjects are popular. So acumen you have to decide, and for rest too, that is syllabus should be precise, should be less technical, it should be manageable in the given time, and should be sizably overlapping. Tick boxes are favorable towards sociology. That's the reason why sociology might be one of the subjects popular among the students. And interestingly, what I have found in these years, those who are from non-sociology background score better than those who are from sociology background. Because again, they are doing in a limited fashion, keeping their priority and examination in mind. So sociology helps you a lot in GS, no doubt about it. no doubt about it, because paper 1, a sizable section is sociology, that is Indian society. In paper 2, social justice belongs to the sociology, and in paper 3 also the development aspect, like land reforms, agriculture things, all these understanding you develop here is going to be helpful there also. So that's how, and though it will be unfair to say directly, but yes, sizably, your understanding of sociology gives a better picture of the fourth paper also. Because fourth paper and sociology has one thing in common, that sociology also believes in scientific inquiry. What is scientific inquiry? Not based on common sense or assumptions, something which is based upon empirical facts, findings, data, and conclusions. And if you develop this mindset, which you will develop in sociology for sure, what is the beauty of this subject is it gives, that's why Peter Berger, a noted anthropologist, once said, what is sociology? Sociology is nothing but new eyes to the known world. दुनिया वही रहेगी, सिर्फ देखने का नजरिया बदलेगा. It is going to be the same world, but your orientation will change. Orientation will change, and that is what is important. So your orientation will be now scientific. Your orientation will be based on certain facts and figures. And in fourth paper, if you develop this mindset, that because in fourth paper, most of the people think commonsensically. What they think is right, what they think is wrong. Not necessarily the way you think is right and the way you think is wrong. To understand right and wrong, you need to go scientific. You need to go scientific. In fact, don't answer me. I'm asking you a question. Would you like to marry an African? Would you like to marry a European? Don't answer me, think yourself. If your answer is yes or no, you are still having commonsensical thinking. The standard answer is, show me the photograph first. Not all Americans are alike. Not all Africans are alike. This is scientific. Making sense? In fourth paper, most of them do this mistake. They look at the question and answer the way you have answered in the first place. And that is where, again, I'll say not directly, but indirectly, what understanding and mindset you develop in sociology helps you to score better in fourth paper. That's why, again, don't trust me. Results are likely to come. Look at the mark sheets. Do some research, believe in research, and you will be surprised to see it. I never accept anything because somebody had said. For me, it should be tested. So you will see that it's natural that students of sociology will score better, relatively better in fourth paper. It's not because they did something extra, but this mindset helps them to see things from more scientific perspective. There's several things where we go commonsensical and biased without even knowing it, that we are biased here. So that is where, and obviously in essay, needless to say, in sociology you got some, whatever they are asking in essay, sociology definitely helps. This is where even PSI also helps. This is where even philosophy helps. Those are students of PSI and philosophy, they also write good essays. But same is the case with sociology also. But once you have done sociology, you got some writing skills which would be useful in essay paper. Now again, to cut it short, the bottom line is that in sociology, what are the advantages? That it helps you in GS and essay paper. It is shorter, non-technical, so can be managed in constraint of time with the limited resources. And first part is your domain. And obviously, again, I'll request the first part must be your domain. You decide whether you have acumen or not. And the best way to examine it, take NCERT, read it and see where you are, how comfortable you are. Or no, that's again, I'll say that is one of the most tested way. So this way, otherwise acumen can be developed in these subjects, but again, because it's going to be a long journey. Making sense? Now, having said so that what could be sociology and how optional could be useful, one thing I would like to say again, that in each of optionals, as you know, there are 2 papers. And why 2 papers? There's a logic. In most of the cases, paper 1 is understanding the subject and paper 2 is applying the subject on something. So if I ask you, what do you understand between the society and a society? I hope I'm not checking your English grammar, but I'm trying to say something. When I say the society and when I say a society, what does it mean? Paper 1 is more about, you can say, the society, that what exactly society itself is. And paper 2 is about a society, that is India, which talks about that society. So paper 1, you understand the subject and that knowledge you apply in paper 2. That knowledge, that's why again, I must say, if you are good in paper 1, then only you can score better in paper 2. And paper 1 in that matter, or for that matter, in that case, paper 1 in any subject, not here only, in any subject you will see is something which is close-ended because boundaries are determined. Paper 2 is bound to be open-ended. There might be several things. Now, in sociology, paper 1 syllabus is very clearly designed, and the title itself is called Fundamentals of Sociology, that whether you're understanding sociology as a subject or not. And then paper 2, they want to know that whatever you have read in sociology, whatever you know in sociology, can you apply that on Indian society or not? So whether whatever your sociological perspectives are, sociological knowledges are, whether that can be applied on paper 2 or not. So paper 1 is something close-ended, and trust me, as it is close-ended, boundaries are well defined. Most of the time, it is easy to score 150 plus in paper 1. And I often say to the students in the classroom also that your target should be in paper 1 somewhere 180 out of 300. Out of 250. So out of 250, it should be somewhere close to 180. Somewhere between 160 to 180, and it's achievable. I'm not saying 200 plus. I know 200 plus is something where you have to be a bit lucky also, along with your skills. But 160 to 180 is manageable. And if you got 160, 170 here, and when 900 plus is for the interview call, almost 1/6 of the journey is completed. 1/6 of the journey. And that is what your approach should be. So paper 1 is, for that matter, close-ended, where boundaries are well defined, topics are meticulously explained, that what you have to read and how much you have to read. I'm saying both, what you have to read and how much you have to read. So that is where it becomes easier. And for paper 1, what I will be doing, that I generally take 55 to 60 hours to finish paper 1. This is the general, plus minus 4-5 classes, depending upon what kind of discussions we have, what kind of indulgence we are having in the classrooms. But paper 1, if you have done those 55 classes methodically and revised them thoroughly, trust me, 160 plus is achievable, and that is something what makes a good strategy when it comes to this examination. Now, as I'm aware of that, ma'am have already told you about various strategies in the subject, and also there is no point of repeating it. So cutting the story short, here I would like to say what is there in paper 1. And when it comes to paper, and this is the syllabus directly from the website itself. In paper 1, you can see the topic is sociology, the discipline. This is the introductory topic where they say sociology as a subject, what exactly it is. Why? Because sociology emerged as a subject. Anyone can ask, why do you need a subject to know? Why do you need a subject to know what is family, what is marriage? Who doesn't know marriage? Almost everyone is dreaming of your age. So why you need a subject to study marriage? Why you need a subject to study what is religion? Who doesn't know religion? Everyone is doing it. Everyone is scared of God equally. So why you need a religion? What exactly is the role of religion in our life? What is the role of religion in our life? So for all these we don't know, anyone can say that why you need a subject? The point is that your religion is saying something else, their religion is saying something else. Which religion is right, which religion is wrong? Confrontations. And then if they are confronting, and if somebody tells you, and that's why I must say, but before that, maybe a small introduction might be helpful. My name is Sunil Singh, and if you know the unfamous JNU, I call it unfamous these days, that has been my alma mater. I studied there, and I was one of, I must say, I consider myself lucky because Y Singh sir happened to be my one of the instructors. We call them instructors there. And Y Singh is a big name. He's called as father of Indian sociology, Yogendra Singh. He rightly used to give one example. He always starts, he used to start his class with this example, which is bound to come in my mind also when I'm talking to you on the day one. It's like, I'm sure you have heard of the story, but he gave us a new insight on that story. Even I would like to share that once 7 blind people were supposed to explain an elephant. I'm not talking about 7, I'll just talk about 2. 2 blind people were supposed to explain an elephant. One fellow touched the trunk and said elephant is cylindrical. Is he right? Is he wrong? Is he wrong? So it's not neither right nor wrong, both right and wrong. Welcome to the world of social sciences. Here nothing is absolutely right, absolutely wrong. Anyone can say he's absolutely right. One part of elephant is cylindrical. Anyone can say, no, he's wrong because elephant is not only cylindrical. Other blind fellow touched the tail and said elephant is serpent-like. Is he wrong? Is he right? They came together. Hello, bro. How are you doing today? I'm good. Even I'm good. Do you know, today I touched elephant. Bingo, even I touched elephant. It was cylindrical. You idiot. It was serpent-like. Cylindrical, serpent-like. And they are fighting. That's how we are fighting. This religion, that religion. Western culture is better. Eastern culture is better. Oriental is better. Occidental is better. We are fighting. Now you tell me, when both of them are right, why they are fighting? Because they did a mistake. The mistake was they touched one part of elephant and they thought entire elephant is like that. They did not give the scope that elephants may have other shapes too. And what if they go to a third fellow who can see the elephant to sort out the problem? So the third fellow who can see the elephant will say, both of you are right. The front part of elephant is cylindrical. The back part of elephant is serpent-like. Don't you think now both of them are more closer to the reality of elephant? That third person who can see is sociology. So interestingly, in these kind of subjects, you have nothing new to read. You will be already knowing either elephant is cylindrical or a serpent-like or cubical or bulgy. So in the original story, there are 7. I'm cutting it short considering because you had been listening from almost more than 2 hours, so it doesn't make sense to further stretch it. So the beauty of these subjects are why social sciences are taught. Because when people came from different cultures, civilizations, they were bound to have this, because they can't see the entire society in one go. So they had different opinions. And that is where they were beheading each other. And as they were beheading each other, killing each other in the name of religion, in the name of these things, we realized that a third person is needed. So that's why they say modernity and social change in Europe. And then because Europe that time was having bloods on the street, civil wars everywhere, revolutions taking place on one hand. On the other hand, modernity was coming. Scientific advancements were taking place. So that's how topic 1 tries to give us the background on which sociology has emerged. And that's how, what exactly it is. And that's why, in fact, look at the C topic. One of the very frequently asked, sociology and common sense. Not necessarily your common sense is always right. Your common sense is localized and intuitive. It is based on your own local experience. It is intuitive in nature. So that is how this topic 1 is more about, that what exactly sociology is. And that's why, not a surprise, from this topic they get what is called short questions, compulsory short questions. Topic 2 is now sociology as a science. That to what extent it is science, pure science, social science, and so and so. So again, they ask question of you can say, of that nature, which might be short question, but compulsory. As you know, in paper 1, you might be told, if not, in paper 1 and paper 2, you got certain compulsory questions also, a set of questions which are compulsory, that you have to answer. So questions might be asked here. Research methods very important, because if I really want to know how much of sociology you are knowing, I should examine whether you are knowing the research methods or not. Cutting it short, fourth topic is very important.
Preparing for the UPSC Civil Services examination demands strong preparation across all mains papers. And when it comes to scoring well in the mains, your optional subject plays a crucial role. A good performance in your optional paper can be the difference between just qualifying and securing a top rank. To help you build a strong conceptual foundation and improve answer writing, Vision IAS presents the Optional Classroom Program 2026, available in both live online and classroom offline modes. Subjects offered: Geography, Sociology, Political Science and International Relations. Batch starts from 20th June, 2 p.m. Physics. Classes start from 15th July.
In fact, look at the fourth topic. This is about the thinkers in sociology. And if you know thinkers properly, almost more than half of the job is done. If you have done thinkers, and that's why if someone is in a hurry, and in the last moment, I often say fourth topic is something which makes almost half of paper 1. And if you have done fourth topic well, you are bound to score better in paper 2. Otherwise, your paper 2 answers will be commonsensical. It will be generic. So that's how very important topic is 4. In this fifth topic, again, don't you think these topics are there in your GS? Equality, hierarchy, poverty, exclusion, and understanding here helps you to write better there. Then what are theories of stratification, why inequalities prevail, what are the challenges, whether inequality good or bad. And so sixth topic is more about what is the impact of economy on society. So what about various social organizations? Again, look, this B and C topic, it is your in GS, paper 3 also. Understanding labor. Every year in mains GS, you get one question on labor organizations. That what is the impact of labor organizations, how it is related to industries, and so and so. So that is what this topic is. Look at the topic 7th. Bureaucracy, pressure, group political parties, power, nation, state, citizenship. Are not they in paper 2, GS? So, and the best part is there you might be reading what is nation as per Article 12. Here will tell what nation is, what state is. And if you see the questions, even in prelims, they have asked, what is the definition of state? That you will be naturally reading here. So this topic is wonderful topic again from GS point of view. Helps here, helps there in GS. Religion and society, here again, why religion, what are various religious practices, impact of religion on individual. And ninth topic is about what about family, patriarchy, why patriarchy? Again, one of the most discussed things these days, how things are changing, lineage and descent, what are contemporary trends. And topic 10 is about social change. So if you see, in these 10 topics, if you want to refer to, the fourth topic is the most significant because this is the backbone, along with the third topic, that is research method. So fourth, third, 10th topic is something about social change. 7th topic was about power. If someone has done these 5-6 topics, is relatively in better position. And out of these 5-6 topics, again, the same logic which I said, the third logic, you will be benefited here as well as in your GS paper. That's why I often advise to the students that give more importance to them. Do them properly. And if you have done them thoroughly, if you have understood the concept properly, then you will be seeing that in paper 1, you are in a very comfortable position. And all these things which you have read here will be then useful even in paper 2 of the optional as well as in your GS paper. And if you have understood thinkers well, you're bound to write better essays, better answers. Your organizational skills of thought will improve accordingly. So that's the merit of the paper 1. So this was, in short, that what exactly sociology as an optional is and what exactly paper 1 is. एक बात मैं आपसे और कहूँगा which may help you, I hope will not bias you, but will help you to take decision. There is one thing in sociology which goes natural with bureaucracy also. Do you know what is role of bureaucracy? And how come it is possible that you're a simple graduate of history and you become RBI governor? Hashtag Shaktikant Das ji. You're a simple history graduate and you're RBI governor. You might be simple graduate in medical science and you are head of engineering institute, or maybe head of any PSU. You might be simple graduate in commerce and you're head of medical science. Because what exactly bureaucrats do? Bureaucrats' job is to manage the resources, isn't it? Their job is to manage the resources. I hope I'm making sense. अगर मैं आपसे एक छोटा सा सवाल करूं, let's change the story a bit. I hope I'm making sense to all of you, because your time is precious and should not be wasting it in any capacity, not even a minute. I'm very precise on that. अगर मैं आपसे एक छोटी सी बात पूछूं, why don't you do one thing for me? एक छोटा सा मेरा काम करना है आपको. That recruit a cook for me. I need a cook for my home. You recruit a cook. You said, you advertise in the newspaper, cook needed. And on this particular day, one examination will be there. There will be one examination. Those candidates who are applying for it will be shortlisted on the basis of examination and accordingly will be given the job. Let's say 3-4 candidates applied. And you asked in the examination paper, write about, let's say, ladyfinger. Now Mr. A writes all the biology of ladyfinger. This botanical formula of ladyfinger is this, and the floral diagram of ladyfinger is this, and all these kind of details. Will you recruit this fellow? कमाल करते हो sir, क्यों नहीं? This fellow is so informed, knowing so much about ladyfinger, all the botany. क्यों नहीं करेंगे भाई? रिक्वायरमेंट कुकिंग स्किल की, बायोलॉजी की नहीं, तो इतनी छोटी सी गलती आप नहीं कर रहे हो, यूपीएससी करेगा. वी वांट मैनेजर्स, वी डोंट वांट एकेडमिशियंस, और आप बुक्स पे बुक्स पढ़ रहे हो. एंड यू थिंकिंग रीडिंग मोर विल हेल्प यू मोर इन क्वालिफाइंग एग्जामिनेशन. आई होप आई एम मेकिंग सम सेंस टू यू. आपने गलती नहीं की, एक्सपेक्टिंग द सेम. व्हाट यूपीएससी डज, Government of India wants certain administrators, managers. Administrators means managers for government. So UPSC conduct an examination. As candidates are so many, they put a filter called Prelims. Those who qualify there, now that job is done. Now actual examination happens, and in that we recruit the fellow. If we wanted academician, we could have said, na, PhD mandatory, at least masters in this degree, JRF should be qualified. हमें तो I am least bothered which subject you have read. Did you notice? वो तो ये भी नहीं कह रहे कि आप वही subject लो जो आपने graduate में लिया हुआ है. We are least bothered. Isn't it telling something? And you are thinking, reading, look at the Xeroxes flooding out there, my God. Who can read these many things? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Even in sociology also. Maybe the way sociology you are reading in MA and you are supposed to read here, the questions will be different. They will be checking your 2-3 skills that we'll discuss in the classes, that what are they and so. Now, in bureaucracy, what is needed? You need to have general idea of the things so that you can coordinate better. So you should know little about that how geography works, a little about how history works, a little about that how resources work, where are the resources so that you can coordinate better. अब जरा ध्यान सुनिएगा. So Mr. A को तो नहीं रखेंगे ना पक्का, या है किसी के पास गुंजाइश कि नहीं रख लेते हैं, कंसीडर कर लेते हैं? नहीं रखेंगे. And when this Mr. A will come out, my God, बहुत difficult examination है, बताओ कुक के लिए भी इतना पढ़ना पड़ रहा है, will buy another book of botany. This is what crowd is out. With due respect, I'm not saying out of satire, I'm saying out of sympathy. This is the crowd outside, thinking it's so difficult, banging their heads on everything almost, running pillar to post, कि कोई material छूट ना जाए. And average selection age is less than 25. Obviously, they are not reading as much in comparison to others. So this is definitely, अब मैं जो बात कर रहा हूँ, this is logic, not common sense. That's what what is called sociology, when you're saying the same thing from a new perspective now. Second point, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ. चलो, Mr. B ने लिखा, Mr. B answers that ladyfinger can be cooked this way, can be cooked that way, in gravy, in dry, and so A or B? B is something which is a potential, and you have only one seat. So B might be. If trained, B can do better. Now look at the C. Ladyfinger can be cooked this way, in dry, in gravy, in oven, on chulha. These ladyfinger is good in these vitamins, in these minerals. These people must take ladyfinger. These people should avoid ladyfinger. A, B, C. Why C? Why not B? Multidimensional. More dimensions you cover, better is your management. Because everything is multidimensional. Things are governed by so many things. Now, why is he attracted you? ये आदमी बढ़िया था. इसने भी बताया कि नहीं भिंडी किसको खानी चाहिए किसको नहीं. Did you notice what we like? That feel good factor came in your mind. That's what good managers are. In your head, so many variables coming at a time, and the variables could be largely 5. It has to be structural. It should be related to your rule book. It should be related to economy. I'm not going that far. Otherwise, this was another question which I often ask. Ki what made these things possible? And it is ethical. It is environmental. फिर कभी बात होगी तो बताऊंगा. It's not a surprise that in GS you got 4 papers. Paper 1 is about structure, paper 2 is about political dimension, paper 3 is about economic dimension, paper 4 is ethical dimension, because these 4 determine how decisions should be taken. आप यहाँ बैठे तो चारों वर्क कर रहा है. Think of it. अभी यहाँ से बाहर निकलेगा, you take any decision, you will see all 4s were playing a role. And now the 5th one's also. यहाँ आने से पहले सोचा आया होगा जरूर, गर्मी बहुत है यार आज. Isn't environment playing a role? A good manager should understand at least the fundamentals of the 5 things to take decisions. That is what exactly in bureaucracy they expect, that you should be knowing all these things. Naturally, in sociology also, the nature is generic. Sociology ka bhi nature, the nature of sociology as a subject is also generic. And what happens, that here also you don't go in details of how power works, but how power is useful to determine certain social structure. How this thing is useful in determining this particular thing. So that is where, again, sociology as a subject is something which is almost overlapping with your requirements of what bureaucracy is. Again, this might be the reason why many of the candidates who have taken sociology, they might feel that this is very useful in GS paper, because their answers, the kind of tendency they develop there, is what helps here also. So again, I'll say that this is not something which is a natural corollary, but might be somewhere invertly correlated. So this was a little about that, what exactly it is in paper 1, what about sociology as a subject when you have to choose an optional, and that why sociology and the UPSC examination itself having almost similar traits, maybe one of the reasons why this subject is, which comes very handy to you. Rest of the technicalities has been already told, so there's no point of repeating it. So this was in short that what sociology as a subject and what you should be keeping in paper 1 in mind. I hope you got benefited from this discussion. If you have any question, you can ask us quickly so that we can call it a day. Is that fine with all of you? Anything to ask, if anyone? All right, thank you.
Looking for expert mentoring to crack UPSC? Lakshya Mentoring Program is your answer, a personalized, expert-led path from preparation to performance. If you are targeting Prelims 2025, here is what is in store with batch starting from 14th March. One-on-one mentoring with UPSC experts. Tailor-made strategy to match your needs. Regular MCQ-based assessments, CSAT support. Access to live quiz, Sandhan personalized tests, Lakshya Prelims practice tests. Planning for the long game Prelims, Mains and Interview 2026? Lakshya Integrated Mentoring Program 2026 gives you a head start with batch starting from 15th March. Year-round mentoring support, structured preparation calendar, prelims to interview coverage including GS, CSAT, ethics, essay, and personality test guidance. Regular evaluation, customized feedback, and adaptive planning. Regular group and one-on-one session with mentors. Integrated current affairs preparation with digital current affairs platform. Are you still juggling newspapers, random notes, and endless PDFs trying to make sense of current affairs? Let's make your UPSC prep smarter. Introducing Digital Current Affairs Premium by Vision IAS, your all-in-one platform to read, revise, and write better every single day. Have a doubt from today's news or something in your syllabus? Just ask and get instant AI-powered answers that are concise, relevant, and completely aligned with the UPSC exam pattern. No more guesswork, no more confusion. Want to boost your mains writing skills? Practice daily with structured questions and get expert feedback to sharpen your content, clarity, and analysis, because writing well is winning half the battle. Need better revision? Use quick notes and highlights to save key points, mark important lines, and organize your current affairs in a way that actually works for you. And here's the best part, some of the most powerful tools are absolutely free. Daily news summaries from The Hindu, Indian Express, and more, curated, filtered, and exam ready. Downloadable PDFs so your notes stay organized and accessible. Daily quizzes and MCQs to reinforce what you've learned and track your progress. A smart student dashboard to monitor your performance and stay on top of your goals. Whether you're just starting or deep into your prep, Digital Current Affairs Premium adapts to your strategy and makes every minute count. So why prepare the hard way when you can prepare the smart way? Visit www.visionis.in/current-affairs and start transforming your current affairs prep today. Because with Vision IAS, you don't just stay updated, you stay ahead.